Hello everybody and welcome to another video. So, you want to be a Warhammer content creator? Let's chat about that. So, basically, the title of the video says it all. You want to be a Warhammer content creator. Let's have a little talk about that. Maybe you're new to the hobby and you've decided you want to share your passion, your newfound passion on the internet and make content on Warhammer, or you've been doing it for ages and you're like, cool, let's make some content on YouTube or whichever platform you want to choose to do. But first, there is an elephant in the room that we are literally going to talk about first, and that is Games Workshop and them sending free stuff. Now, I'm just going to say this straight away. If this is your main reason for wanting to make Warhammer content, is to basically get Games Workshop to send you free stuff, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to probably lose momentum. You're probably not going to ever get there. The reason why is there's probably a lot of reasons regarding how Games Workshop and what Games Workshop prioritize when it comes to sending things to content creators. Now, first things first, the size of your channel is, or platform, is going to be the deciding factor. They have a number, an arbitrary number that they want you to hit before they'll even contemplate it. Then there's your content that you've made up until that point will also be judged. Now, there are some people that, and I've heard this a lot, that will come out with comments that you won't get sent things if you are not a certain gender or a certain sexual orientation. Personally, I think that is codswallop, because I follow plenty of female content creators that are extremely talented and are not supported by Games Workshop at all. So I don't think that's necessarily a factor that the GW marketing team will look at. I do think a lot of it is down to the size of your platform and ultimately the content you make. As a good example, we have plenty of big YouTubers that are huge, and I'm talking hundreds of thousands of subscribers and followers, and they are not sent anything by Games Workshop. Case in point, Chapter Master Valrak, probably one of the biggest known YouTubers in the Warhammer sphere, isn't sent anything by Games Workshop. The reason why? Well, he talks a lot about leaks and rumours, and literally leaks and rumours everything anyway. So maybe the marketing team don't think he is trustworthy enough and will probably break the NDA within seconds of him being given any form of information. Maybe that's the case. Maybe the reason why he does this. I personally don't think I'm ever going to be sent anything from Games Workshop regarding the amount of, regardless of how big I am or however big I get, purely down to the fact that I have done rumor videos in the past. I have made rumor predictions. I have covered rumors. I have covered leaks. I literally have a leak video this week on the new Epic game about the Solar Auxiliary. So I think that that type of content, or content that criticizes Games Workshop, will come heavily against you when it comes to receiving things from them for free. A prime example of that would be Discourse Miniatures, who her entire channel is based on shitting on Games Workshop from a great height, regardless of what they do. So, you know, she has a relatively big channel, over 30,000 subscribers, doesn't get any support from Games Workshop, no matter how much she would want it, purely because she shits on them pretty much in every video, so they're not going to touch it. So now we've covered the free stuff. Let's actually talk about what you want to do. Now, there is a number of ways you can do this. You can be a Twitter or X content creator. You can make little videos and put them on that platform and share your content on that social media platform, or you can do it on Instagram, and you can make shorts or reels, and you can do stories, and you can share your pictures, your work progress, and your sort of your finished projects as well. You can do little sort of videos like this where you're talking to your audience on your reels, and you can kind of do quite a lot on Instagram, and you'll find that you will probably end up doing Instagram alongside your main platform if you choose to do things like YouTube or Twitch, because those are the sort of like the two bigger platforms. And you'll generally sort of like normally will probably do something like Instagram and Twitter and Threads and Facebook as a kind of a supporting element. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't just focus on Instagram if you really wanted to. You perfectly can. And there are a lot of content creators out there that do just that. Facebook used to be quite good. That's how I started doing social media and Warhammer content. Really back in the day when Facebook had Facebook pages, they were really, really good. My page, before it was sadly closed down due to some malicious activity by others, I had about 5,500 followers on my Facebook page, and it was amazing and it was really good. But in those days, the algorithm and the ability to share with your page through into Facebook groups and everything else was actually quite good, and posting in links for videos and everything else was actually quite good, but not so much the way that Facebook now run it. You're kind of sort of, your pages are kind of throttled, so not many people will get to see what you're posting unless you pay them to boost those posts. So I don't recommend Facebook at all. Don't do your content on Facebook. Kind of stick to maybe Instagram, YouTube, or Twitch. But let's look at the two big ones. So the two big, and I would say that these are the two biggest platforms that you want to make content on, is YouTube being the biggest. I would say that the vast majority of Warhammer content creators are on YouTube, and a lot of the big content creators are on YouTube. And YouTube is kind of evolving with how we get to make content. You make videos, like exactly like you're watching right now, or you can make shorts, and this is when it kind of starts getting into a little bit how you want to make them. Now, to start out, you can pretty much make content on this. You don't need anything else other than a decent mobile phone with a decent camera. You can get like a cheap camera stand arm that will attach to your desk that you can move and position and look down at where you need to do. And you can do everything else on your phone without any real issues. You can record videos, you can edit videos, and you can upload them directly to YouTube on your mobile phone nowadays, which is amazing when it comes to actually making content, because that's really good. Now, personally, how I started is I kind of started doing that on YouTube, and then eventually I moved over to Twitch. Now, if you're new and you don't know what Twitch is a live streaming platform that was essentially made for computer games, and it's kind of spread into a number of other genres. Some of them are questionable if they're actually content or not. Hot Tub Girls, looking at you. But it's kind of an interesting place. Games Workshop do have a presence on Twitch. They do live streams on Twitch, and due to that, Twitch have created a Warhammer category, a gene, and a section of the platform for Warhammer. Now, just a quick one. A lot of people, like myself, moved onto Twitch during the pandemic, and it was pretty interesting. We seen a lot of growth on our channels really, really, really quickly, because there was a lot of people consuming content during the pandemic, because most of the people were sat at home, not at work, or were working from home and had the ability to also watch Twitch while they were working. So we've seen a very artificial sort of engagement with our channels, and like I myself hit affiliate in 9 days, and if you are new to the platform and you have no idea what that is, basically affiliate is how you become monetized on Twitch, and then the next level up is partner. Now, to become an affiliate, you need 50 followers. So you need 50 people to hit that follow button. You then need to stream like 7 days in a 28-day period, which is really easy. And you then need to do something like an average of 3.0 viewers per stream, which can be very easy. You can get your mum to log on and get your granny to log on and get your uncle or a mate to log on, or you yourself log on as well on your phone. And you can kind of manipulate that, and as long as you stream for a whole stream and you have 3 viewers, you'll pretty much get that 3.0 quite quickly, and you will then become an affiliate. And once you become affiliate, that allows you to have subscribers, which are not like YouTube subscribers. Subscribers on Twitch are something where someone will pay you money, and you'll be able to receive donations and bits. This is all cash coming to you, but it isn't, because ultimately what will happen is Twitch will take half of that off you, and you will need to hit a threshold of $50. It used to be 100, but it's now 50. You have to hit a threshold of $50 before they pay that out, and it's normally around about the 12th to the 15th of every month. They will calculate what you owe, and then they will send you that payment. Now, you will generally see, if you go on the platform, a lot of streamers will have subscription sub-targets, and not followers, sub-targets, because they want those subs in, because that's generally how they make money on the platform. So if you are wanting to make money on the platform and you enjoy live streaming, and live streaming is very different to this type of content that you're watching, because it's very free form. You can jump on and you can stream for 3-4 hours if you really wanted, 12 hours, 24 hours if to your heart's content. But you're constantly engaging, and you're constantly and it's kind of sort of like you kind of go with it, and your chat, if you've got a really good lively chat, will sort of keep you company, and you're kind of chatting. My mentality when moving to Twitch was, I'm painting anyway, so I might as well go live and chat to people who have a shared passion as me and engage them as I have. It was never really about the spondoolies. It was mainly about having a bit of banter while painting and talking to other like-minded individuals. YouTube is very, very different. YouTube is where the graft is, and you are going to put a lot of graft in. And like I said, you can start YouTube on this, but then you can ultimately progress up to something like this, which is a big camera. This is a decent camera. It's a Canon DSL camera, and it's got a decent zoom and everything else. And if you watch some of my content, you'll see the different types of sort of the view that I can get on that. Now, I started out with a webcam. In fact, the webcam that you're looking at me on now used to be the camera that I used to have pointing down to my desk and would be record, because it's a decent HD camera. Now, it has no zoom function. That was the problem. So ultimately what I would do is I started off with a webcam. I actually started off with a cheaper version of that, which was about £35 from Amazon. And from there, I then streamed for a bit, made content from a bit, and would get my money from Twitch, and then I would save up, and then once I got £100, I then bought that camera, this one right here that you're looking at, which is a C920, which are very, very good cameras for starting out in your streaming journey. You can normally pick them up on Amazon for anything from £75 to around about £100. There are better cameras out there, but as a nice starter camera, the C920 is a solid camera to get, and it's pretty good. And you've got like a little function box that you can download that you can like auto zoom it or like focus it and stuff like that. It doesn't zoom. There are cameras out there that do, but if you're going to make YouTube content, you kind of want one that does. Also, one of the most important things that you're going to need is a microphone. Yeah, you're going to need a mic. You're going to need a decent mic. Again, Amazon has you covered. For about 25 quid, you can get a decent desk mic, either on an arm like I have, or you can have it just sat down on your desk in front of you. however you want to do it, that's kind of what you need. Now, with the mobile, it has a decent built-in microphone, so you don't necessarily need all of this to start. You can do that. Now, live streaming on your mobile is a little bit different because these things are not webcams. There are ways of making it work like that by getting certain apps. I tried it. It was a little bit annoying. It very rarely works, so I just bought a webcam. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So YouTube can be a grind, and to become monetized on YouTube is a slog, and I'm talking a slog. To become monetized on YouTube, to essentially qualify for AdSync, you need 1,000 subscribers. That's a lot, and it takes some time to get there. You also then need to sign up to the AdSync thing and do all of their terms of agreement, and then you also need to do the two-way verification, which is generally they will check your email to make sure you are who you are. It's pretty standard. It's not that complicated, and that's the easy parts about it. The hard part about the partner thing on YouTube is the 4,000 hours watched time over a 365-day period. Oh my God, it is hard. I am pushing for it personally right now, and I'm literally pushing. I'm very close to the 1,000 hours left to do, so I'm not that far off, and I've got about 5 months to do it for my 360-day period, which would be starting at the beginning of this year and then going into February next year. So I've got about 5 months to basically do it myself. There's a good chance that I might do it, maybe not, but it's kind of like a rolling number. So it takes that 360-day window, and as soon as you hit the 4K, they'll send you an email, and then you'll go through it. They'll vet your channel, they'll go through your content, making sure that you're eligible for it, because it is YouTube and anything can literally stop that from happening. And that's kind of how you do it. And then once you do it, you can have like a members section where you can like have a paywall that you can set, and you can put content behind that paywall for your members, and you can have like super chats, so you can live stream and people can have like big super chats. You've probably seen it if you watch other content creators that have got all of this monetized. You'll see them reading out only the super chats because they're the people that are paying them the money. It's a kind of a way for you to sort of monetize your hobby, and if you're making content, obviously Warhammer isn't cheap. So if you're not being sent things by Games Workshop, which you're not going to be, because you know that's only about 1 or 2% of content creators that actually get that privilege. A lot of us do not, and you'll be able to then take that money and buy new models to make content with. So yeah, it can be a bit of a slog one, and it can be a bit of a hard one. And that's what I mean. This is why I was saying about earlier in the video where about the GW, that this is a grind, and it's a big grind. Now I have found that I have a passion for video editing, so I kind of enjoy making videos and editing. Now on editing, you're probably going to need editing software once you get one of those cameras and you're doing this. If you're using this, you can do it on the phone. But if you're doing it on your computer, you're going to need editing software. Now, I use a program called DaVinci Resolve 18, which is like 18.5 now. But it's good, and it's free, but it's really, really good. And I've only scratched the surface of what you can actually do in that program. And there's a lot of things on YouTube about editing and video editing and audio and colors and everything else. So once you start getting into it and you start learning about making the videos and you start getting your head around it, it opens up a whole new thing of learning, and video editing is definitely one of them. So yeah. So hopefully that kind of give you an insight. Like, enjoy it. The biggest thing that I can say about coming into making content about Warhammer is kind of make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons. Don't do it to try to get the freebies, because You're not going to get it. The vast majority of channels won't. The vast majority of content creators won't. And this can come from any reason, like I've said, from either content that you've made to the size of your channel or something that you've said. So don't come into this thinking I'm going to do this and then I'm going to get things sent by Games Workshop. The reality is that's not going to happen. Also, be prepared to be shocked at your viewing numbers, especially if you come onto YouTube. I have spent hours learning new techniques and making really cool elements in my videos and going, oh, this is amazing, and being super proud of my video, and then posting it online and it gets like 56 views. It's soul destroying. And I had a bit of a crisis a few days ago where a video that I put out hasn't done as well as I expected. And I was like, oh my God, this is terrible, absolutely terrible. And I then started putting pressure on myself and then started doubting what I was doing because I was too fixated on those numbers and not on what I'm doing. So try to ignore the subscription numbers, ignore the number of likes and dislikes you're getting, and ignore those hours. Don't worry about it. Do not worry about it. Only worry about it when you're getting really close to it, and then start doing things that are getting there. Make content that you enjoy is the best piece of advice I can give you. Make content that you enjoy and that you are absolutely passionate about, because hopefully that passion that you have got will come across the screen to the viewers and they will be like, we get this, and they'll engage with it and they'll want to watch it. And I hopefully that my viewers have that same thing about me. That I love Warhammer, and I have made videos before that certain things that have happened to me in my personal life, I'm only really here because of Warhammer has allowed me to get through that. It's allowed me to function as a normal person would, because I was able to do Warhammer and paint miniatures and allow the voices in my head to basically turn off. And it's a really, and I find it a really good way of relaxing and basically working with my mental problems without any drama. And it's a really good outlet for that. And it's really sociable. It's cool. You get to share like this amazing hobby that we do, and we get to talk about it. So try to do it for the right reasons and make content that you are passionate about. If you really love Space Marines, you make content about Space Marines. If you really love squigs, go all out squig. Go full squig. Dress up as a squig in your videos if you really want to do. People will love it. And this is the same way on Twitch as well. Now Twitch, unfortunately, is a bit of a weird area right now, that because it's come out of the pandemic, it's kind of flatlined a little bit, and bigger channels are even starting to like have less numbers than they did before. I've moved completely off Twitch because my Twitch channel all but died. I was like not getting anybody, like handful of viewers. And the way kind of Twitch works is you're relying on other content creators to come in and bring their audience with you to you in the form of a raid, and then they're hopefully going to hit that follow button, and they're going to start watching your content as well, and it kind of increases your numbers. So it's kind of like people just do a big circle following content creators around with raids, which is kind of cool, but it's kind of not. And your growth is very community driven. Twitch does not support new content creators. It won't promote you. It won't help you in any way. Once you become affiliate, they don't really care. And even if you're a brand new channel, they don't really care. So if you stream at the wrong time and there's like 20 other people streaming, you're at the bottom of that page. The people that are getting a couple of hundred viewers, and there are like big main channels that will literally gobble up that viewership really quickly as soon as they come on, and you're at the bottom with like 0 or 1 viewers. Now, during COVID, when I was doing reasonably well and having an average viewer of 20 to 30, I would generally end my stream by looking for those channels and flying in there with my raid and telling all my audience, smash that follow button, let's get these guys affiliated. But that kind of become a lot harder when my viewership disappeared, but the larger channels who are promoted by Twitch and will have, and the vast majority of them are partners, so they will be given the additional privileges over what affiliates and non-affiliates are, and it's kind of really hard. Now, on content creation on YouTube, I will say this also, that you are going to be fighting against the content creators that are making the content on what they've been sent by Games Workshop. So basically, you're going to be at least 2 to 3 weeks behind the content curve. So if your main aim is to make content based on what's cool and new at that time, you have to remember that by the time you get that product in your hand and get it on your desk to do something with, there's already a handful of content creators have made content on that, and it's already there. Because they've been sent it weeks before you've even got it. We have to rely on the pre-orders and being able to get hold of it during the pre-order period, and then you've got it at that release. Like, as an example, my Cities of Sigmar, I've got the launch box. The launch box now is very hard to get hold of, so I'm slowly making Cities of Sigmar content, and I know that once the Cities of Sigmar gets the main release, I can then go to social media and I can start linking those videos that I've already made from the launch box to everybody else to hopefully bring in some new people and that engagement with my channel. Whereas the Games Workshop affiliated content creators, they're going to be making content on the new models that have been released, and they're already there, where I'm going to have to wait until pre-order and the release to get them and then make content on that. But that by that point, you've already seen stuff being painted, so you really need to see it. It's kind of that way. So yeah, just be bearing in mind that that's going to be a problem, and it can be a problem if that's the kind of content you wanted to make. You can make talking head content, which is basically what this is, where you can like cover the Warhammer articles. So you can talk about the Warhammer articles, you can look about it, you can have it up on the screen, you can talk about what's going on and whatever. You can make prediction videos, you can make tier list videos, you can review like the indexes and everything else like that that's there. Just remember that everything that you're probably going to do, those content creators supported by Games Workshop have already done it. Or there will be one of them or a number of them that make that type of content that are way ahead of you already. They've made that content, it's edited and it's out and it's uploaded. So the vast majority of people have already watched it by the time you get to make it. So that's why I'm saying you make the content that you are passionate about and don't really rely on the new thing as the driving force of what your content is going to be, because you're in a losing battle when it comes to exposure and everything else. Now, if you really want to get technical and really get in depth, you can look at things like how the algorithm works and look at what's trending on Google Trends and go into the whole thing around that and then do things like that. There are certain things that the algorithm really love. They love tier lists. They love top 5 videos. Things like that in the title and things like that in the tags. The algorithm seems to just promote them things. So if that's the kind of content you want to make, go for it. Reactionary content to things like Warhammer TV, I would stay clear of, because Games Workshop will more than likely come in and slap the crap out of you if you're trying to do that, because it's behind their paywall and they're not really going to be massively okay with you doing it. So be very wary about that kind of reactionary content, because you are essentially making a video on copyrighted material. So be very careful, because if you do that wrong, you're not only going to piss Games Workshop off, you're also going to piss off YouTube, and you're going to get striked. And if you get a number of strikes, your channel can be closed down. So just be careful and make sure that you're doing it well within the guidelines of what that means, because you can react to things that are very much fall under fair use, But everything behind that paywall on Warhammer Plus is not under fair use, and Games Workshop will crucify you if you try to do it. So yeah, just have fun when you're doing it. That's the best thing I can say. Now, I haven't scripted this video. I haven't scripted. A lot of people do. I haven't. I figured that the best way of doing this video was to me sort of say it as open and honest as I could possibly can, and that's hopefully is what I've done. So I'm going to end it here. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe to my channel. If you're new to the whole making content thing and you're really sort of getting in there, drop a comment and let me know, and I'm going to come over and I'm going to subscribe to your channel. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and ring the bell so you don't miss out on anything. And I will see you in my next video. Goodbye for now. See you later.